I couldn't make hot chocolate because I was still in a call, and
Wait,
now
wait, wait,
I'm
wait.
sitting
I
here
thought you
without
drink.
hot chocolate.
I thought you drank tea. Why are you changing your diet?
No,
What's
no,
going
no,
on?
no,
It's
no. For
Christmas.
Smudcast, it's when I brew up caffeine, it's with hot chocolate.
Sure.
Otherwise, I drink tea.
Yes, the same. They both have
But
caffeine.
because it's 11 p.m. Smud.
What's your point?
I need caffeine.
It's the same thing. You just brew it longer.
No, it's not.
Whatever. Anyway, let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Smudcast number 918. Anime has a church problem. Let's talk about it. Alrighty, let's do so. This is from Piercing Heaven, who has about 3,500 subs. Good views, sir. And this came out last month in November, and it has almost 90,000 views. This is a 12-minute video. Something must be going on that people are concerned about the church in anime, and we've had religious elements, demonic elements in the storytelling of manga and anime for decades. I've never noticed a problem, and we were sort of mentioning it a bit before the stream, but there's all kinds of anime we can point to that are just, they have references, they have mythological references, they have actual churches, they have people in militant versions of churches, we have political churches, we have secret orders of churches, but it's really nothing unheard of in storytelling, whether it's anime or manga. Secret organizations, people with power having resources, doing all kinds of things. I was just watching an anime today that had, or reading a manga today that had a religion that's like, ooh, they're doing something behind the scenes. Like, ooh, it has nothing to do with the church per se, but just a big organization with people in it that, with anything that gets too big, you get corruption, you get people doing their own thing. So it's nothing new, I don't think. I was gonna give examples of like Neon Genesis where they just have references because it's stupid. They could have had.
Well, that's not church. That's just religion. That's
different.
Exactly. Are we talking
Exactly.
institution, or are we talking a faith?
Right, but they turned it into their own.
Evangelion's references to quote unquote religion are just Ultraman.
I'm not sure what I honestly don't know what they're trying to do with the Holy Sabbat and all these other weird Judeo-Christian concepts that are so obscure to some people, unless you know it.
Well, yeah, that's Jewish mysticism. That's beyond Christianity.
Well, it's something in there, but they turned it into their own thing, and this is what was really meant by Adam and Eve and all this other nonsense. You're like, okay, they're giant creatures that want to eat humanity. Like, that's weird, but okay. I always like one of my favorite mangas is The Night King Who Returned with a God, where the gods are real, and they believe in everything good about humanity and life, and they bestow powers upon their knights and the people, and they cure cancer. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff. And evil is like very clearly defined, and it's so comically funny that it's a funny thing to read. So when you look at the serious Evangelion stories, you're like, oh, it's an angel. It's a kaiju angel. Oh, he's trying to... Wow.
Everything's better as a kaiju.
Yeah. So.
And I only recently learned that the Walkman that Shinji has in Evangelion was based on Hideaki Anno's experience with Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
How?
Because Hayao Miyazaki broke his Walkman.
Yeah, he lent it to Miyazaki, and he just listened to it, the same song over and over until the tape broke, and then he gave it, and then he said, "Well, now it's broken. Here, you can have it back."
Oh, well.
Absolute move.
Okay. Well, in relation to
and since Miyazaki is always depressed, Shinji is not actually a self-insert from Hideaki Anno. He's a projection of Hayao Miyazaki.
That's stretching it. Either way, there's.
It's my new headcanon.
All right. Either way, the church in anime and manga have been expressed in many forms. I just recently learned about The Faraway Paladin, which is a really cool anime. It's also a cool manga as well, which is all positive. There's the Vatican Miracle Examiner, which is like a murder mystery, but it goes into like an organization that wants to take over the Vatican, and then someone dies. They have to figure that out. There's Trigun, which has symbolism that's Christian, I believe. There's Helsing.
Full of
Oh,
mercy.
little.
Sorry.
It's full of mercy.
Yeah, that's part of the story.
Yeah.
There is Helsing, which everyone was probably going to think about because they have the Protestant church and the Catholic church, and they're both kind of twisted and weird, but that's kind of the point.
That's that universe you kind of have to.
Yeah, there's Nazis running around. It's crazy. It's fun.
Vampire Nazi.
Yeah. Oh,
Nazis,
there's Trinity Blood.
zombies,
With
Vampires.
teleporting gay cat boy Nazis.
Okay.
Vampires.
Yeah, I remember that. All right.
That
Well,
was weird.
I was going to say Trinity Blood because that's a post-apocalyptic story, and once you go there, it's like church could be whatever the heck it wants to be, but they have like vampire forces fighting, or no, they have characters fighting vampires, whereas they are vampire eating. I don't remember exactly what the heck they were called.
I need to watch it again at this point.
Yeah.
I think they ate the vampires.
The Krishna kick, or I don't know what the hell that robotic vampire eater creature. Yeah, it was cool. I don't know what it did, but yeah, he transformed and started eating vampires. What was the other ones I liked? Berserk is a great example of a bad church, whereas the church worship devils, I think, or demons or something like that.
Not really. Those
They-
were corrupted
they-
priests.
Oh, okay. There you
Yeah.
go. So there's the church and it gets corrupted. Yeah, so there's lots of stories of churches, of organizations, of governments, of secret brotherhoods, this and that, who either have their own will or are corrupting people, or trying to kill people, blow the world up, whatever. Nothing new in anime and manga. We've been doing this for thousands of years. This is nothing special.
The thing with Japan has a special experience with Christianity,
Mhm.
in that it already had organized religion, even if it was an animistic one. It already had Buddhism in the country,
Yeah.
and and the way Christianity came to Japan was through the Jesuits, which are it's not the most normal bunch of Christians, and they were, yes, and the thing with the Jesuits was that they were rather, let's say, subversive. They were trying to undermine the Japanese governance, which is, so they weren't just preaching here Jesus is really cool and virtuous and everything. No, they were actually doing basically what, get your seatbelts on, what the socialists did. They get all the downtrodden, and then they try to slowly pressure them into their cult, and then pressure with that in the government. And of course, the rest of Japanese society, not just the government, didn't really like that. And on top of that, the Jesuits really sucked ass when it was about philosophical, theological discussions with the Buddhists and the other religious ambassadors, let's say, in the courts, which is what happened all around the world. Like the Greeks in their time, 2,000 years ago, they did the same thing. They had people from all sorts of religions at their courts, and they had philosophical discussions between them.
Well, there's plenty of examples of Japan meshing Christianity with their version or flavor of religion, which could be Shintoism or Buddhism or whatever. And you see that with Fate Zero or Fate in general. There's a whole division of the church. There's Chrono Crusade. That's part of what the whole story is about.
That was cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of these Japanese or anime versions of either Christianity or the church, or the Western concept of the church. So it's fairly common to do that as an artist. Say, this is where I come from, but I'm going to take this Western idea or this Eastern idea and shape it into a story. That's great. Trinity Blood is like that. Witch Hunter Robin is kind of like a modern version of that with magic there. So it kind of pools these two concepts together. Geez, there's so many. I mean, Those Who Hunt Elves, there's a great one from, was it the early 90s or the late 80s? I can't remember when it came
I
out.
think that was early 90s.
Yeah, it's
That wasn't late 90s, that was early 90s.
you know, she has a staff with the Star of David on it. You're like, all right, yeah, something's going on there. So whether it's symbolism, whether it's entire concepts, organizations, this is nothing new.
The issue with this is the thing. The Star of David is a basic shape. The cross, however,
Sure.
is not a basic shape. That's because it's asymmetrical.
Hmm.
The Star of David is just a
Star.
not a hexagon. What's the other thing?
Pentagon. Octagon.
No, a hexagram.
Hexagram.
Is it a hexagram?
Okay.
Yeah, because the pentagram is the 5-pointed star,
Right.
and the pentagon is the 5-pointed
Polygon.
Yeah, genau. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's a hexagram, and it's symmetrical, and that makes it a basic shape. So it could actually appear in other places, but I think the main thing that when the Japanese depict the church is mainly about a authority that an institution of authority that turns out to be outwardly virtuous and nice, but is internally corrupt and just seeks power. Because that is how Christianity presented in Japan, and which is one of its biggest problems in rooting out the bad guys in its own ranks, which is a problem of all institutions that grow to a certain size.
Yeah, that's why we say Microsoft is the big bad, because it's just so big and it takes over the world and everyone uses it and there's all these problems and everyone hates it, yada yada. But we keep using it. So yeah, there's lots to argue about whether this is good or bad, right or wrong, but everyone does this in storytelling when you're talking about a secret organization, or there's someone corrupting something within that organization, or there's a militant wing of that secretive org. Like this is normal. This is commonplace. Yes, it's a bit childish. Yes, I don't like most of it because I come from detective fiction, and where you, as soon as you have a cabal or some sort of weird group pulling the strings, you're like, all right, who are these weirdos? What's going on? So. But that's just realism hitting me in the back of the head as opposed to getting lost in a good fiction. So Christianity is fine. Catholicism is fine. Using the church is fine. It doesn't bother me. But again, this gentleman might have a different opinion. I want to know what he has to say. Piercing Heaven. Here we go.
Anime kinda has a problem. I've picked up on a pattern, and I want to know if you'll be watching an anime, taking in the characters and the setting, and then bam, evil church. And I think, that's a funny coincidence. But then I put on another show, and again, bam, evil church. Bam, evil church. Bam, evil church. Over and over.
I could show you, again, we've listed a bunch of them which are weird, goofy, good. Like we can go to JRPGs. There's all kinds of examples of using that Western concept into Eastern settings, like Dragon Quest or even Lufia. All the churches are good. All the priests are good. All the clerics are good. There's nothing, they're not involved with the plot. They're just there to provide services. So
yeah, and unless you have an actual church plot, then it's usually some corruption thing.
Yeah, there's some evil priest influencing his parishioners or something like that.
To myself, something's up here, and I've got to talk about
That's
it.
you?
Oh god, this
I'm no
guy.
anime amateur, but when doing research into this video, there was a surprisingly large amount of anime that have this exact issue. Full Metal Alchemist Father Cornello, Ascendance of a Bookworm's Cathedral, Attack on Titan's Church of the Walls, Fate's Fuyuki Church, and Fire Force's Holy Soul Temple, just to name a few. They're corrupt, have ulterior.
The Church of the Wall was a cult.
Yeah, that was a cult. not a
Difference.
church.
Yeah.
Also, the Holy Order in Fire Force is also a cult. Because, I mean, everybody here's finished Fire Force, right?
Oh, it's been a while.
No, I watched the wrong anime, and I felt very sad.
Oh.
I accidentally instead watched what is it called? I repressed the name. It was the worst anime I've seen in a while. It was about
I can't
really lame firefighters. I think it was made for propaganda.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Be happy. I'll send it to you later.
But the Fire Force church / cult, the Holy Order, their whole plan is to engulf the planet in the flames of the first flame again and start from scratch. They want to eradicate all of humanity and start
So
over.
it's a nihilistic cult.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the example of Fate, the church is there as just as a not an advisor, but just as an observer. But some characters from the church use their power to be part of it. So I wouldn't say the church is evil, just people in it are kind of crazy. So, but that's a militant side of that. So this is what we talked about before. It's just like there's all these flavors or secret sects or weird people in it. But it's the Holy Grail War. It's literally a war where people from the church and others can fight each other to the death to get one wish granted. So it's like you're going to see a bunch of people try to kill each other.
And wait.
Remote.
I found it.
What?
The bad anime was Megumi no Daigo.
What? Is that a word?
The Japanese the full title is Megumi no Daigo Kyukoku no Orange, and it's horrible. It makes no sense,
Okay.
and it's boring as hell.
All
Don't
right.
watch it.
Yeah, don't
It's from the
listen to
90s.
when someone makes a recommendation for a bad thing. Don't.
Really, seriously. This is not the kind of it's bad. You want me to watch?
Yeah.
Cringe and everything. Like no. This is just lame. This is just a waste.
This is not like it's so bad you got to watch it. No, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Puni Poemi, and you shouldn't watch that. At least not with anyone in the room.
Oh, let's not give it those recommendations either.
It's just
There's enough of those. We know what they are.
In some cases are entirely built on lies. So what gives? Why are there so many evil churches spread throughout the medium? I've come up with 3 different probable reasons to explain why this is happening, and I intend to set the record straight. The first reason, and probably the most fundamental, is what I call God as a problem. It's a pretty well-known trope that if you're playing a JRPG, the final boss is probably some version of God. This didn't
I mean,
maybe,
you got in Shintoism, yes.
but a god,
Shintoism is
not
about-
the god, not God the
Yeah.
creator. Yeah, it's just like wait a second. Just narrow it. Unless you're talking about Final Fantasy X-12-3, which lightning literally fights for God. You're like, okay, this is getting stupid.
Yeah, and the only other Final Fantasy that I can think of that you fight a god is 16.
Oh yeah, I never got that
Yeah.
far. Okay. Yeah, no, it's just really like once you get to that X-12 version 3, it's just like, oh, okay, this is silly. The whole story is dumb.
I think the problem that guys like him are stuck in is that in Christianity they only refer to the High One as God and not any of the other entities. While in all the other religions, all the other entities like the archangels in Christianity are just also called gods. It's just a issue of nomenclature.
Well, yeah, in Christianity, there's only one God, and then everything below him is either part of his divine council, which are the angels, and the other gods are mentioned. They're just called demons.
Now, that's a bit off. It's that if you look at the other pantheons, they are equivalent to the Christian one. They're congruent, and it's that what you have as archangels in Christianity are the specific other gods in the other religions, or in the other mythologies at this point when they're dead religions. They fulfill the same roles. They have the same characters even in many cases. And when somebody here turns himself into gets godhood, turns into a god, it usually doesn't turn into the highest god, not the creator, but just a god. So it would be the level of an archangel, for example. Does that make sense?
I think you do fight some sort of deity, but not the deity. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, yeah. It's always this power scaling goes up so high, and with Final Fantasy, it's always some spiritual being or what have you, and you're like, all right, Sephiroth evolves into some weird Genova construct with wings. You're like, all right, yeah, I see what they're trying to do with the symbolism. I get it, but it's just a crazy science experiment gone crazy.
Out of nowhere, however, and the way we got here is actually really fascinating. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard the name Friedrich Nietzsche?
No.
No? Maybe you've heard this before. God is dead.
Wow.
That was Nietzsche, a German
Wow.
philosopher who had a strong bone to pick with Christianity as what he
And where's the rest of the quote?
Yeah, please continue this context.
Cyrek, you need to be at the microphone.
I am at the microphone. Nietzsche didn't have a bone to pick with Christianity. He had a bone to pick with humanity.
Yeah, he was lamenting that they were getting rid of God because they had no replacement. You can try that. You can try doing that if you have something of equivalent importance that keeps people in check and aim towards virtue. But that wasn't the case. They just threw the God thing out and then left the void and in its place, and that was the big problem. And that's how Nietzsche predicted. Yeah, there's got to be a lot of blood, and the last century had a lot of blood.
believed. To make a long story incredibly short, Nietzsche believed that mankind had outgrown belief in God, and that in order to counter nihilism, man would have to exercise the will to power, to conquer himself, and become an Übermensch, an overman, a sort
No, I think that was the ideal, but that mankind as a whole didn't have to equally or individually each become an Übermensch. That's kind of pushing it.
He read the Wikipedia page. He never read Nietzsche.
Something, I don't know what he read.
The
version of man who is the deciding factor of reality,
the Nietzschean definition of the Übermensch is just a self-actualizing adult.
They're not
contrary to the child that can't think and decide for itself, but is just thrown around by its emotion.
Yeah, they're not some.
The Nazis and the communists then used completely different definitions of the Übermensch or Overman.
Yeah, they're not some philosopher king. They're not some like pinnacle of athleticism dude. No, they're just the guy who self-actualizes whatever he is and lives his life. It can be those things, but it doesn't have to be. This is not like some absolutist thing that humanity has to become. It's like, no. This is just the kind of mode a person can be in, and they choose. It's the same with eudaimonia, with Aristotle. If you have this behavior of people, which is just routine, you can choose to be excellent, and that routine can make an excellent society. So that's what he was trying to say. Is like, look, if you just have good behavior, and your society is orchestrated that way to manufacture good behavior, you're going to have an excellent society where everyone is achieving all the things they want to do. Not that they're Ubermensch and they're all like buff and like brilliant and running.
Well, it's that in that kind of society, people are prone to the chance of realizing that they can actually have a greater chance of becoming something like that. Because that is the path of virtue and application and self-improvement.
Yeah, it's like not everyone can be born as Dolph Lundgren, and live the life that he lived.
Well, nobody is born as Dolph Lundgren except for Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can strive to be like Dolph Lundgren.
We could like look at like 1/8 of him. It's like, let's do that. Let's achieve that.
Yeah. See. So if you don't want to be a Christian, if you find that stupid with the guy who walked on water and everything, and the Son of God stuff, all of that, if that's not your vibe, just don't take Jesus as your example to emulate. Take Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Irene? You can't argue that away.
Dolph Lundgren is just a man.
Yeah, he is just a man, but he's a pretty damn awesome man. And if you don't have any examples to live by and you don't want to do the religion thing, why not Dolph Lundgren?
Can't go wrong.
To make another religion?
You can make the religion of Dolph Lundgren. I think that would.
We don't need Dolph Lundgrenism.
It could help. I would sign up.
That's what happens.
No,
That's what
because then people
happens.
just start. Then they just do the same mistake as they do with Jesus, where it's, oh, he's so perfect. I could never even be like
Oh,
that.
no,
So I
no,
don't
no.
even. So I'm not even gonna try because it's impossible.
Oh, no,
anyway.
You would.
That's the bullshit version.
Yeah.
No, instead, look what he did, and then try to do the same.
Yeah, exactly. That's like run every day. Like go to martial art class every day. Go to university every day. You know,
Yeah.
be an actor every day.
Yeah, become I don't. What was he? A physicist?
Well, he had several
He's a
degrees.
lot.
He's a fourth degree Dan in Kyokushin. He was an actor. He was a bodybuilder. He was was a guy who protects people.
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard, yeah. Famously, he was the girlfriend of a bodyguard that was in the black chick in one of the Bond films. I can't remember. But yeah, he's just everything he's done. I'm like, how is this guy possible? Like, how is this guy born?
Yeah. What was this degree in?
Chemistry and physics, I thought.
2? Yeah, I think it's chemistry
2?
and physics.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Dolph Lundgren,
look at
has
his
5
body.
PhDs. Dolph Lundgren has 5 yeah.
He's gathering them like Pokemon. He almost has a team. Look, see. Does Jesus have 5 degrees, Cyrek?
Who?
See? Be like Dolph Lundgren.
He was in the awe of Dolph Lundgren. Who are we talking about? Jesus? Yeah, that's the same idea. All right, let's keep going. Here is Frog Jupiter for the 5. Thank you, sir. Which church does anime have a problem? High church or low church? Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, LSD, or FLDS Mormons? Some might be problematic. Well, yeah, if you put it like that.
I think he meant LDS, not LSD, but that is funny.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, Church of Latter Day. Yeah, right.
What is LDS and FLDS?
Well,
LDS is Latter Day Saints or Mormons, and FLDS is a branch off of Mormonism, and they consider themselves to be the true Mormons.
Yeah,
of course they do. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
are they the Mormon IRA?
No.
I heard there is a Mormon IRA that also went suicide hugging.
I was going to say it's closer to Catholics and Protestants, maybe. But maybe Christian. No, Christians and Catholic. No, that's too close. Yeah.
But
we don't talk about Iglesia and Cristo. We don't talk about that cult.
All right.
I have never heard of that. Now I want to know.
Anyway.
They're a Filipino cult. Don't worry about
it. Back to the wonders of bad.
People always
church.
say that, and then they suddenly take over the government.
Okay.
Whom the world around. Does any of this sound familiar? If not, let me zoom in for you. Nietzsche popularized 3 key concepts, which have rippled across Japanese media like you.
Well, number 1. You should finish the quote, which is, God is dead, we have killed him, and we will never wash the blood away.
I don't think
Nothing will ever wash the blood away.
I don't think he had 3 major ideas that suddenly impacted the Japanese to make anime. I don't remember that at all.
No.
Also, the whole what was it? The Vinland Saga.
Yeah.
The
Great
second
series.
season is dog shit.
Nah, I enjoyed it.
It's dog shit. It's horrible, and it's just complete garbage with this whole pacifism bullshit that in the end destroyed the Danes.
Well,
what the hell? And you know why they went to Lindisfarne? Because their image of Christianity was shattered by Charlemagne Christianizing with the sword, as if he was a Muslim. Because then they thought, like, what the fuck are these people? Because that wasn't just some country bumpkin. That was a king. It was a king of Christianity. And he just randomly massacred our people because they didn't want to convert. Like, okay, they wanted to build a wall first, and then that didn't happen. But, word travels. And then I think, like, okay, let's see if we can loot something somewhere. Because these people are all hypocrites. Charlemagne was the reason for the Viking Age to happen.
I was going to mention Bumpkin because you mentioned that reference to the I was a country bumpkin became a swordmaster or something like that. The anime that has a church in it, and it has parts of that are, wouldn't say evil, but they use holy powers to make them stronger and not feel pain and buff themselves up. And again, it's just all nice anime RPG tropes put together. Doesn't hurt anyone. It's fine. Anyway.
You should ask for reparation.
I think Vinland Saga had a good character development moment with Christianity. I thought it was nice, but okay.
Yeah, the portrayal of Christianity in Vinland Saga is actually really good.
Yeah. I'll give it that. I really did like the portrayal of PTSD in Vinland Saga. That was done really well.
Yeah, okay. Father and son, yeah.
Believe. First, Nietzsche didn't celebrate the so-called death of God. He actually worried about the emptiness that would take his place when Christianity declined in Europe. As far as he thought, Christianity had left people with a will to nothingness, desiring to leave this world for the sake of the next. Nietzsche saw this as a poison, which would need to be dealt with by totally rethinking Western philosophy and leading it away from a desire for the supernatural and the afterlife to the here and now. This is how we get our next concept, the will to power.
Yeah, which is how we could have just gone back to Aristotelianism, which didn't happen for some reason, because the socialists wanted to get away from that so that they could do their socialism, which was the whole bloody French Revolution bullshit.
Power. This is power over oneself, and it's what Nietzsche thought was the main driving force in humans. You can summarize it as self-determination, the concept of actualizing one's will unto oneself or one's surroundings, and it overlaps heavily with egoism. If you're familiar with Pelagianism, it's basically a rebranding of it. But then what happens when you exercise that will to power? You get our last concept, the Overman, he who overcomes emptiness and despair by creating his own values and asserting his own will to create his own reality, focusing on this life rather than the afterlife. He puts his faith in himself as the ultimate creator and relies on nothing else. Importantly, the Japanese adoption of the Overman has historically taken the form of someone who stands above the crowd, ditching the Japanese post-war collective mentality as an act of rebellion against mediocrity. So what are we left with? These three concepts come together to form a worldview where there is no God, and everyone who believes in God is being held back from their true potential of becoming godlike if only they would focus on this life instead of the afterlife.
That's a really gross exaggeration of what he's trying to say, but okay. The effect might be the same. Like
well, you should not focus on the afterlife in the first place, because at least the way it works, for example, in Christianity, as far as I understand, is that you get the good afterlife if you do your life here properly. So just focus on doing your life here properly.
Well,
No. Christianity is not a works-based faith. You are forgiven if you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior and profess it with your mouth and believe it with your whole heart. You do not earn your way to salvation and to paradise through works.
So you can just be a complete psychopath and serial killer and rapist and child fucker and just say, oh, I accept Jesus into my heart, and off you go.
So, a great example of this is Jeffrey Dahmer did this in prison. He accepted Jesus Christ. He was baptized. He repented of what he did in life, and then 5 months later in prison he was killed. But if you repent and then you completely change your life around, you don't do what you did in the past, then yes, you are going to heaven. Well, yeah, but
that would be in the realm of works. That is you focusing on the here.
Well, that's because
you have done something.
In Christianity, whenever you are baptized, you are a new creation in spirit, not in flesh. And because of the Holy Spirit working within you, you become a new creation entirely. So you are not your old self.
I was going to bring up the example of Nietzsche's eternal, what is it called? The eternal moment or the eternal recurrence, where he says there's one moment, if you could live your life every time doing that same thing over again for eternity. That's to affirm that what you're doing in life is so valid that you would embrace it to do it all the time. And that's his idea of, or the concept of eternity or or afterlife, but obviously for what you're doing now. So the master smith would always be striking with his hammer or what have you. So those sorts of ideas are the same concepts of excellence, of whatever that thing might be. And I don't know if that's religious or if that's akin to an afterlife, but it's more of a thought experiment. Say, why are you doing this thing? Is it something you'd keep doing over and over again because of its excellence or because of what you want to do? So anyway, Nietzsche had lots of ideas. He's a philosopher. He had dozens, if not hundreds of ideas. I don't think he just had these 2 or 3 for Japan to...
Well, he has 12 minutes.
Whatever. It's a weird... Aristotle had these great ideas, but anime creators had these 3 major concepts they were influenced by. Like, okay. Anyway, another one from Frog Jupiter. Nietzsche wasn't against religion or Christianity. He was against life denial, which was what the modern church became compared to the medieval church. Modern church.
Depends.
What would that be? Yeah. What example would that be of the modern
Yeah,
church?
I would need an example because the only churches that I can think of that were life denial are the quote-unquote revivalists, which are very far from what the scriptures teach.
I was thinking of maybe the Baptists, but no, they would also believe in the same concept.
Yeah, I grew up Baptist. Baptists are fine. The revivalist churches that I can think of, Kenneth Copeland, where they teach quote unquote the prosperity gospel, where if you go to Christianity, your life will be better. No, it won't. You get these false teachers of a religion, and then they tell you to deny yourself in life, which to an extent, yes, you deny the world, you deny the worldly things and the worldly desires, and by doing good for the church and spreading the gospel and giving to those in need, will you receive from God. It's a give and take thing. So I don't know what other life denial ones aside from the rivalist churches. Back in the, what was it, the 60s? Yeah, 60s.
All right.
But Nietzsche was long before the 60s.
View isn't exactly friendly to Christianity, given that it originates as a deliberate departure from standard Christian teaching regarding the afterlife, submission to divine authority, and the communion of saints, and therefore, to the Japanese, God appears to be more of a problem to be overcome than a personal and loving creator. To them, he's a distant and vague figure who sets annoying and pointless rules for us to follow, which is in stark contrast to the Christian understanding, which is that God sets rules because he is not a god of chaos, but of order. Speaking of order, Japan isn't a huge fan of organized religion. It's no secret that the evil church is...
No. I don't know why he put...
Beetlejuice?
No, the other... this is a church thing, because it's a cult. No, but... oh god, names. I'm deteriorating. The Korean one.
Oh, solo leveling.
Yeah, solo leveling. Why you put solo leveling there? Because that has absolutely no relation to anything. Here it's just an action scene. No, but the thing is, if you
gods, Jinwoo eventually becomes a god.
Spoilers.
The spoilers to a story that ended 10 years ago.
No, the anime only has 2 seasons, so it's not.
Nobody
reads the manga.
They're going to continue it.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is, from the perspective of the Japanese, it doesn't matter that you intend. Oh, I put the rules out because I'm a god of order, so my intent is order. That's why the rules are good. That's bullshit logic, man. Have some empathy. You have to look at it from the perspective of the Japanese, who look at the rules they're presented. For example, that came from the Jesuits, and they just look at you. what are they doing over there? What are these rules? How do they make sense? And then they can't explain it right.
Yeah,
And then it just looks like random shit. And that is why they call it chaotic.
I'm not sure what he means by the creator God is, or God in general is not a God of chaos, but of order. It's like, well, he created everything. What do you mean specifically order? What is he ordering that we can point to and say he's not that?
Well, if you look at the creation myth in the Bible and the Old Testament, he is creating order from chaos, and in that creation myth, the primordial chaos was already there.
Is that the idea, or did he make everything?
Well, that's the theological debate, because Christianity likes to not look at other myths that preceded it.
All right.
And if you look at other myths that preceded it, you can get a better understanding of from which prior gods the God of the Bible was put together from. And that is usually gods of order and mercy and life.
Anyway, an odd thing to say in general, I would say, to bring up order and chaos when talking about God, but whatever.
Yeah, but the thing here is this guy, he just doesn't understand how people from an outside perspective could look at the rules you follow, and that you then tell them you need to follow these rules, and then don't explain why or how they work and why they are important, because then it just looks arbitrary. It doesn't matter but my God is the God of order. That's why they're good rules that make order. Like, how? And this is the exact point. These debates were usually lost in Japan. And that's why people looked at the Christians and were like, "What? These people are stupid." You need to articulate, even if your faith and your philosophy is a good one. If you can't articulate it, it's gonna fail.
Right.
And not to mention that Jesuits are the reason for the Christian massacre in Japan. Just don't forget that.
What did they do?
Oh, because of the trying to take over the shogunate in Japan, and I think the 1500s.
Yeah.
I may be wrong on my dates, but during the time of the shogunate, whenever the Jesuits were coming over and doing missionary work and stuff and trying to take over the power of the shogunate, the shogunates got rightfully peeved and decided to massacre all Christians in Japan.
You mean the Jesuits were acting quite juicy?
Yeah.
Don't act juicy.
Anyway, back to the video.
Catholic coded. For just one example, religious authorities is very reminiscent of the vestment Catholic priests wear during Christmas and Easter. Two of the three.
It's white and gold. Those are colors of purity, universally.
Yeah,
But okay.
The Byzantine Ukrainian wears gold piping all the time. It's nothing special.
Easter. Most attended masses every year. That said, if Christianity is around 1% of the Japanese population, why is it that they seem so opposed to organized Christianity specifically? The answer might lie in the rise of new religious movement, otherwise known as cults. Japan has...
There were no cults before Christianity?
There were lots of cults before Christianity.
There were no Christian cults?
There were cults that used Christianity. Look at Jonestown.
Man, it's as if she's weird. The Jesuits basically every new denomination starts as a cult.
If he's saying that reality has these weird sects, it's like, yes, that's what writers do. They take ideas from reality and they make them their own, and they do their own creative things, spins on them, and have fun with them. That's normal. So you're sort of defeating the point. You're saying that anime or manga has a problem with ideas that have been fundamental to our history for the past 1,000 years.
Yeah.
onslaught of cults in recent decades. Some of these cults are little more than vaguely religious or ideological social clubs, offering belonging to outcasts and a sense of community to the lonely. But others are significantly more sinister. Probably the most notorious of these new religious movements is the cult Om Shinrikyo, founded by Shoko Asahara. This was a doomsday cult that believed that the world was going to end soon due to a catastrophic war, and so their goal was to survive it by obeying Asahara, building a
He's never wrong. He's never wrong, because there will always be a catastrophic war. You just don't know when.
Yep. Don't forget, this man also made anime with his cult.
Oh, nice.
Oh, what did he make?
Anime about himself.
Of course.
And how he is God. And how he is God. And how if you follow him, he will protect you from the end of the world.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Were these the guys that were referenced in Earthbound?
Oh.
I think so. I think these are the same guys that were referenced in Earthbound, because these are the same people that did the sarin gas attacks in Tokyo.
Jesus.
Once
Okay.
you go
Those guys. Yeah, that was fun.
Asahara made sure to incorporate Buddhism, Hinduism, and even some parts of Christianity into his cult's doctrine. And importantly for us, Asahara was the central authority figure in his cult. The reason for their notoriety is that in 1994 and 1995, Om Shinrikyo carried out 2 deadly attacks in Matsumoto and Tokyo respectively, utilizing chemical weapons. This cult also had a rival cult. Meet Happy Science. I can't say much, given that they're still around and have a track record of silencing people, but what I will say is that their belief system is a more confusing, sloppy, and convoluted mess of Christian, Islamic, and Buddhist syncretism, with their founder at the top of their authority structure as well, a man named Ryoho.
None of those mix.
How are they rival cults? What are they doing? They're fighting wars?
They probably started around the same time and kept on. They probably started around the same time and started taking one another's cult members.
Convert to our cult. We have science. No, we have the end of the world. We're going to save you with our bunkers. Like, what?
It's like snakes versus sharks.
Oh.
There's a common belief that Happy Science's rivalry with Om Shinrikyo is what accelerated the latter's violent attacks. So, we can clearly see from these cults that organized religion in Japan has gotten a pretty bad rap. You can see the superficial similarities to organized Christianity very easily. The hierarchy.
Okay, yes, organizations have hierarchies. That's true.
Yeah.
Having one guy at the top, rigid rules and doctrines, it's all there. But this
That's every organization. What are you talking about?
That doesn't make.
Yeah, there's one guy at the top. It's called Jesus Christ.
You know, we have.
The Pope means nothing to me.
You know, we have garden associations here in Germany.
Sounds like
they
you're
have lots
Christian.
of members. Yeah, they have lots of members. They have rules. They have leaders, and they have kind of board members, which are kind of like the archangels, and they're very annoying. Because they always complain about the height of your hedge. It's either too high or too low, and what else is growing in your garden. But otherwise, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. You should all be in the garden association, except you. You're shit. You don't get in.
Okay.
It's like, oh wow, it's a cult, I guess. of tasty raspberries.
This is all about organized Christianity. Surely our unorganized brothers won't cause us any... Oh. So yeah, the third reason for evil churches in anime is Japanese Protestantism.
Okay.
I assume he's a Catholic?
Before you get up in arms, I want to clarify that this isn't an attack on anyone nor their faith. I'm only exploring the underlying ideas for why anime has so many evil churches, and
because of Japanese Protestantism. Okay. I mean,
So it's not an attack on anyone's, because all religions are beautiful.
Hold
They're
on.
all good.
Hold on. I wanna connect one of his points from earlier.
Okay.
Most, if not all, churches depicted in anime are very reminiscent of the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
And the third point is Protestantism.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second.
So, I think somebody doesn't want to address the elephant in the room.
Maybe you said Lutheranism. It might be more safer.
It must be the other guys.
Yeah, not this version of Catholicism.
It can't be my part of Christianity. Dude, the Jesuits were Catholics.
There you go.
Well, I don't think they were actual Catholics, but they were Gnostic cult.
They were denounced. They've been denounced by the Vatican for a long time.
Yeah, but that took a while.
All right.
Can't ignore the German hammer-wielding elephant in the room, much as I'd like to in the spirit of charity. So how does Protestantism fit into all this? Well, it requires a little bit of history. Bear with me. Between the 1600s and the 1800s...
Wait. I thought we were talking about Japan, not Lutheranism. What is he going on about?
Japan was a closed-off nation under the leadership of the Tokugawa shogunate. Around half a century before the shogunate came to power, missionaries like St. Francis Xavier and other Jesuits had brought Catholic Christianity to Japan. Japan didn't like that, so they closed off Japan from the rest of the world and viciously persecuted and martyred both missionaries and native-born converts. There were many of these, including those martyred during the Great Genna Martyrdom and the Great Martyrdom of Edo, alongside the Augustan Recollects martyrs, the 16 Dominican martyrs, and a couple hundred others. Those who survived went into hiding and became known as the Kakure Christian, or the Hidden Christians. I would have preferred a cooler name like the Kagano Christian, but I suppose we don't always get what we want. Then came the Meiji Restoration, and with it, Japan opened itself back up to the outside world. When importing all sorts of Western philosophy and technology, Japan found itself receiving an influx of Protestants who embedded themselves into fields like education. Fast forward to World War II, where the heart of Catholicism in Japan for 200 long and arduous years, Nagasaki, was partially destroyed by the United States of America. Soon after, the Allies...
Wait. Are we blaming religion for the bombing of World War II?
Are you saying that because the United States is not a Catholic country, and that most people here are Protestants, that because Nagasaki was bombed in World War II, Protestantism is the reason that Japan doesn't like Christianity?
That's actually a good idea. I like that angle because it finally explains to us why it was chosen as a target.
Yeah, well, this is the whole argument with why
It wasn't. It was chosen as a target because there were not that many people there.
Yeah, but look how many Christians there were.
Well, I was going to say, we always talk about the joke of anime has always just been inspired by the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and every anime since has always been about that. And you're like, wait a second, are you saying it's really because of the Catholics in those towns that were bombed, and then we're having some sort of guilt of association, I guess, for they happen to be Japanese, that we got to keep talking about them because of this religious concepts are gone?
Which part of Hiroshima was the bomb actually aimed at? Did it land in the Christian quarter?
Well,
it landed in the center, or it exploded over the center of the city.
The funny thing about, if you actually look at the bombing of those two villages or cities compared to, like, was it Tokyo and other towns? The fire.
Tokyo was already decimated.
Yeah, like the fire, the napalm, and all the fire bombing that America did was way deadlier than the nuclear bombs. Mm-hmm. Which is
because America also told people, "Hey, we're going to be bombing here. Get out."
Yeah, pretty much. They were like, "We're coming."
Oh, you mean like in Gaza?
You can't stop us, but please leave. We don't want to kill you all.
And also the reason that Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed was not only because they were less populated than Tokyo and all other major cities, but also because they were where the weapons manufacturers were. So to take out a good portion of the weaponry and artillery of the Japanese and to make them surrender faster, they targeted those weapons depots.
Yeah, and they had a lot of wooden and bamboo structures, so woof. Anywho, back to
bamboo doesn't actually burn up; it just chars.
It does when you throw napalm on it.
Well, napalm.
Well, yes, everything burns down when you throw napalm at it.
All right, back to religion and Nagasaki. Okay.
Was promptly Americanized alongside other.
So we dropped the bombs and Japan became Americanized. That's one way of putting it.
aspects of America's culture that entered Japan, a new wave of American Protestantism had arrived. Over time, and to the present day, Japan's small Christian population became majority Protestant. So, how does this add to the evil church problem? Well, there's many ways, but I want to hone in on the scandal of schism. Schism is a split between two strongly opposed groups due to differences in opinion or belief. This is how you would define the relationship between Catholics and Protestants. Imagine, if you will, that 1% of your country's population is one religion, but within that 1%, there's a bigger group and a smaller group that refuse to associate with each other. They don't believe all the same things, they bicker regularly, and they refuse to worship together. Imagine now that the bigger group is part of your education system and they focus more on community. These are well known to you, whereas the smaller group focuses more on more explicitly religious practice, and as a result, they're more of an abnormal curiosity to you. Now, if the bigger group, who you know, and the smaller group, who you don't, have a long-standing opposition to each other, who are you more likely to think is in the right? What about who's wrong? Maybe.
Where are we going? What are we talking about?
This has gone from anime has the church problem to this is why Protestantism is incorrect. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
if my education system is controlled by 1% of the population with a different ideology, I want that whole fucking 1% gone.
Also, just remember, Luther didn't want to create a new denomination. He wanted to get rid of indulgences and other things that had infested the Catholic Church.
Yeah, a lot of Luther's critique was absolutely on point and necessary. What then sprang from it, sadly, was utter garbage.
Well, we got hundreds of versions of Christianity, essentially.
Yeah, completely uncontrolled, festering cancer that the Gnostics and basically the socialists had very easy way with setting up their corrupted version of Christianity.
Well, here's the thing. We all agree on the main points. It's the little itty bitty things that we don't agree on. And in that I say, who cares about the little things? We all are one big religion. It's just the little things are what separates us.
Yeah. We're not going to get to that because it's a whole other discussion, but he's sort of trying to argue, I guess, Catholicism versus Christianity in this example, but in very, very, very small amounts of an offshoot of that, like another version of that argument, which is, I don't know where he's going with this, but I want to continue.
I want to know.
Yeah,
I'm
lost. I'm just like, what is he going on about? Anyway, we got 2 more from Frog Jupiter for the 5. Thank you, sir. I knew a guy who said that Catholics can't be tyrants. Because he defined a tyrant as a political leader and spiritual leader at once. Since the Pope
is a spiritual leader, the king can't be both. He said only Protestant can be tyrants because they can pull a King Henry and become the head of church. The Pope is literally the political leader of the Vatican and the Holy City, or the Holy See, and the head of the church for the Catholic Church.
Yeah, he could pretty much be a tyrant, and they were tyrants back in the
There are a few popes that would be considered anti-popes that were tyrants.
A tyrant is simply a non-virtuous leader.
You could say that's the example of a democracy, and everything that comes out of a democracy is an oligarchy, and then the oligarchy creates a tyrant, and then it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
kind of.
Anybody can become a tyrant. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what religion you follow. You can become a tyrant.
Yeah. The only way to be a leader that is not a tyrant is to be utterly virtuous in every way. Then, which is the actual meaning of king. So when we speak of kings that are tyrants, it's kind of confused language because we don't usually know. People don't usually know the meaning of these words anymore. A tyrant is basically a fallen king, somebody who's fallen from grace. and is actually besmirching the seat he's on and the crown. And Chad was asking me whether I'm not sure whether the Pope is Catholic or anything. This is a lot going on. Sorry if I mixed that up. Personally, I do not believe that the last Pope was actually Catholic because he was a Franciscan socialist. And you cannot be a socialist and a Christian because socialism opposes Christianity and tried to subvert it for the longest time. If you wonder why the Catholic Church hasn't thrown out all the PDFs in it, that is due to the socialist subversion, the Gnostic subversion. They are fine with that. They are the ideology that wants to normalize PDFery, and because dealing harshly with pedophiles is a core tenet of Christianity. I'm sure Cyrek knows the verse even.
Wait,
I think it's Matthew something.
Repeat the line.
I don't know the line off the top of my head. It's
No,
a thing with the
no.
millstone.
What? Oh, Luke 17:2.
I thought it was Matthew.
Matthew also quotes it.
Oh, cool. See? Two quotes even. Yeah, millstone the PDFs. And if the Catholic Church doesn't do that, or anything equivalent, like at least excommunicating these people, well, there's a problem there. Because this is the most anti-Christian, one of the most anti-Christian things you can do, is violate a child. Because that is anti-life. Am I wrong?
No.
Awesome.
Matthew 18:6 and Luke 17:2, and also Mark 9:42.
Yeah. So Harvard Inspector asks me, wait, Catholics used to deal with predators properly at some point in history? Yes. Basically, this is the word of the guy. Sorry, I interrupted you, Cyrek.
But yeah, all of them say whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea.
We'd have a lot of millstones in the sea. But at some point, we'd probably run out of bad guys before we run out of millstones. They might make a good flood barrier.
All right, we are 2/3 done. Let's keep going.
That's the scandal of schism, that it makes Christians look like a bunch of bickering hypocrites who preach love and forgiveness but refuse to reconcile amongst themselves.
Okay, wait a second. That's a weird... where did this come from? Because two groups are arguing. There's so many arguments in Judeo-Christian for thousands of years of who said what and what does it mean. That's normal. This is normal conversation between scholars. I don't know what the problem is here. That he's like, oh, why can't they all just get along? It's like they do get along. They just argue.
Yeah, we argue about the little things, but we all still care about one another.
Yeah, and this is not Catholicism versus Christians. This is just people within the same religion. Like, what does this mean? This is what I think it means. Oh, this is not what Luke said. This is not what Matthew said. Like, what? That's normal.
Explains why there's so many religious hypocrites in various anime. There's definitely more ways that the Catholic-Protestant divide impacts how anime perceives the church, such as the
okay, this is stretching it, but fine.
Accusations of greed levied against the church going all the way back to Martin Luther himself, but I think I've covered the biggest influence overall. So we've looked at the three...
I don't even know where he's coming to these conclusions. It's just sort of...
There were literal posts before Martin Luther that were put on trial for being greedy. What are you talking about?
I don't know where this came from.
Why anime has an evil church problem. These philosophical, cultural, and religious concepts have come together to give...
I guarantee you, people that did not live during the events of World War II have no idea what he's talking about in Japan, who are anime writers and creators and mangakas. They have no... What are you talking about, sir? Is this like the cultural milieu where they just sort of it permeates in the ether that you're born in Japan in 1990 and you say, I like manga, I'm gonna become an artist, I'm gonna become an anime animator, make some stories, and it's like, oh, I gotta make some evil churches because Protestantism happened in Japan. What?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's a very hard line to follow. I don't know why. It's not that he brought that up. Yeah, I'm glad he brought it up, but I'm just like, this is not connecting.
A generally negative impression of organized Christianity, thereby leading many of them to write their fictional churches as corrupt, hypocritical, elitist, and overall immoral.
By the way, this scene is it's an anime that's new, came out this season. The assassin far surpasses the hero, I think. Zero to do with religion. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I think he just has random action anime stuff in the background that is so overloaded that it distracts from what he's saying. And maybe that's on purpose or trying to draw people in.
I think it's more to draw people in than to try and capitalize on the point that he's trying to make, even if the point is bad.
Yeah, but it's a deceptive tactic because it's so overloaded that I'll exaggerate a bit. It fries your brain so that you don't actually understand what he's saying because he's talking so fast with so much while being so dense. And then you have this dense information on the screen with the action and high emotion that just tilts the average listener.
Like, I don't get it because the common person, right? Look from the outside looking in. If you look at somebody who is Catholic, somebody who is Orthodox, somebody who is Protestant of whatever Protestant denomination you are, be you Calvinist, Presbyterian, whatever, you will more than likely see all of them sitting there having general discussions with one another and talking about God. And then maybe somebody will say something about a very minute detail about another person's tenets, but overall doctrine is the same for all of them. So there's some bickering, but it's all in good argumentation. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that I can think of for why certain anime have bad churches and hypocrites and religious hypocrites and blah 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 is because they want to tell a story with it. That is it.
Yeah. I really don't think it's a inherently cultural thing because there was a bunch of arguments and people kicked them out and this and that and decades ago. You could be influenced by that by having parents or her grandparents who were part of that, maybe. But when you're in the realm of fantasy and especially isekai, where it's pretty much the setting is almost identical, fantasy setting. You've got priests running around. You got spiritualists. You got fighters. You got mages. It's like, okay, you got mysticism. You can play around with it. It's fantasy. You're meshing West and East concepts and mythos. I don't see how that's specific to Japan.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's talking about. Okay. Another one from Frog Jupiter for the 5. Thank you, sir. During the Cold War, the Catholic Church funded various socialist movements in Latin America like Noriega, but was against the atheist versions of USSR.
Yeah.
It's like shooting yourself in the foot.
Yes.
I think there were reasons for that. They wanted to overthrow them, I thought.
No.
Don't make a deal with the devil. The church should know better than that.
I'm trying to remember which country did that. It was the States. They did that with what we're having problems with today with not Saudi Arabia. The war going on with the Middle East.
Yeah. That whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they thought. They would fund this terrorist group to take over the power, but then but it made the original power stronger, and now we're like, oh, we got to defend Jerusalem.
Literally the same thing that's been going on for the past 1,500 or 1,400 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
Anyway, different topic. Let's keep going.
Organized to enrich themselves, control the masses with arbitrary rules, and maintain an unjust status quo. So what now? What's the takeaway? Well, for one, you need to understand that these depictions are inspired by a total mischaracterization of the Catholic Church. In reality, the Church is the body of Christ, not a merely human institution. It was founded by Jesus Christ, our Lord, with the Apostle Peter.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
The Catholic argument.
Was it actually founded by Jesus, or was it founded by Peter?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Jesus.
He said found the church.
The Christian says that Jesus. Okay.
Christian literally just means follower of Jesus
The
Christ.
church is composed of the Christian faithful, in communion with Peter's successor, and the bishops in communion with him. It's got priests and bishops.
So the church is Peter then. All right.
No. No.
Yeah, the thing.
who are
What?
The issue with his definition is just, oh no, our institution is not an institution, it's actually an institution.
Yeah.
Because it's super special. It's super specialer than all the other institutionals.
Yeah, but this is no different
It's
than the Christian not accepting Catholicism or...
Yeah, well, this is just we are not the thing that you call us. We are super more better. But doesn't understand that his explanation is just the very definition of the thing that he's called.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. He's falling into the same definitional trap, or that he's doing it out of ignorance, but that the socialists do on purpose when they say, "Oh, we are against religion," and then act themselves exactly like a religion.
I'm trying to give the analogy of like all cognac is brandy, but not all brandy is cognac. Everything has come from Christianity, whether it's Roman Catholicism or this or that. But he's just giving his flavor that he believes is true, and it's like, okay, there's like thousands of years of how we got from like Stoicism to Roman Catholicism, and what that change was like, and why those groups merged or fell apart. He's like, yeah, this is what I believe. It's like, great. What does this have to do with the topic?
Yeah, he doesn't understand that when you go around to some foreign people and then tell them, hey, yeah, we have these rules, do follow these rules. And the people just look at, what?
Yeah,
Why? That's stuff.
This, I can't fault him for this. This is just his way to lead into an apologetic of the Catholic faith.
So
I can't fault him.
Which means that Japan should follow the Catholic faith to not have evil churches? I don't know.
No, you can have corrupt churches.
Yeah, I know.
But the way that he's framing this makes it just seem like he's upset that Catholics are singled out as the bad church in anime. Whenever
the anime church is biggest. The anime church is universal.
This is no different than if we were watching any of our wonderful past viewers who say, well, this is what happens when capitalism occurs. Like, oh, yeah.
And you also kind of don't have a Protestant pope, do you?
We don't.
So you can't really depict that.
The Protestant pope is Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
so South Park is Protestant.
There's no head of church aside from Christ.
Alrighty.
But this isn't to put them on a pedestal. Rather, they're meant to serve the people of God, guiding them as fathers, just as St. Paul did when he told the Corinthians, I became your father in Christ Jesus through the gospel. The church is the bride of Christ, whose mission as the mother of the faithful is to lead sinners to holiness through Christ Jesus, administering the means by which God bestows his grace upon his children, all in an effort to fulfill the Great Commission.
Yeah, and see, the problem with this is, and with the loud music on top, everything is overload. Dude, you tell this to anyone who's not already in the thing that you are in, And they just check out, they zone out, like, what? You're just babbling, you're just stringing words together. And there may be meaning in that, and there's a lot of metaphor in that, but these are metaphors so estranged from how people normally talk and think that they just think, okay, this guy's just crazy.
Yeah, if only the mangakas and the animators think the way I do about religion, they wouldn't make bad religion in anime or manga.
Like, you talk some random person, like, this thing is the bride of the thing. Like, what?
I thought it was the body of Christ, not the bride of Christ, but okay, fine. Whatever.
That's the other thing.
Disciples of all nations. There have when the hierarchy of the church has failed.
Okay, so it's a world domination cult. That's what you just sounded like.
It's communism.
You just described you just described that you are a world domination seeking cult. Because you talk like a cultist, and you said all nations under this thing. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindisfarne was justified.
Moral matters. All manner of scandal, greed, corruption, adultery, pride, and power plays have plagued the church from the time of the New Testament to the present day. Though this is to
probably before that as well, but you know.
Look, if you haven't figured out how to insulate yourself against corruption, then you shouldn't be the world-leading thing that seeks everything to be under its thumb. That's a bad idea. And currently, you have a fucking pedophile problem still unresolved. There are some Catholic churches, by the way, that are doing actual exhibitions on the child predator thing in the Catholic Church that with prevention guidance and everything and interactive little things. And that's an amazing and bold and courageous step forward. Well, it's also a bit late, but better late than never. But man, you are overdue.
made up of sinners. There is none righteous, no, not one, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. The Lord Jesus once told the apostles that they would...
You're watching Fate. Like, what the hell is going on? The Lord Jesus, wait, just calm down. We focus on what the topic is. Animated church problem.
Everybody's shit. It's a shit way to get people into your cult.
Well, we're in the last 2 minutes. I'm assuming this is the bonkers part where he's trying to proselytize and share his theory of what to do. So,
Cyril?
There is a better way of doing an apologetic like this, and just throwing quotes around without actually explaining the quotes or using the previous and post verses in those quotes. It just sounds like you're just throwing them out there to throw them out there.
Yeah,
like
it's basically like name dropping. It's as if the quote is a magic spell that magically will convert the one whom it's thrown against. The Muslims operate the same way.
I will give him this. At least he hasn't quoted from a catechism yet.
Well, the non-follower would still be lost about what the hell he's trying to come across as.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand that you do not convince anyone with this approach. You rather drive people away.
Well, the argument's gone. Like, I don't even know where he's trying to go with this.
I don't know where he's going either.
Where does he come from?
Well, the Catholic Church.
Where does he go?
Probably.
Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
All right.
Sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. 12. This means that Judas was counted in...
Wow, 12? Really? The number 12. That's great.
You mean like the... What?
Judas isn't counted in that 12.
He doesn't have a holy thing on his head.
He's not part of the cool team, I guess.
yeah. And you know what is really funny?
Jesus.
You know what's really funny about this? In all the prior pantheons, you always had the head god and his 12 guys, of which one was an asshole and usurper. Again.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Anyway, 12 is a big important number for this argument.
In that plan. But just like how the corruption and betrayal of Judas doesn't invalidate the truth of Christianity, the evil of certain bishops, priests, or even popes doesn't invalidate the truth that the church is the body of Christ.
Yes.
So
I think the body of Christ has cancer.
Wait, so if if anime has a church problem, it doesn't invalidate anime? I think.
What?
Is that what he's getting at?
No, he's trying to say that the body of Christ needs chemotherapy to survive.
Oh, to get rid of the cancer. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The cancer is cold anyways.
What?
The cancer will always be cold. All evil will be brought into the light of day. So eventually the evils that were done will be shown to the entire world. He is correct that people who are proclaiming faith in Christ that do not follow Christ by doing as he does shouldn't be the metric, but they're going to be the metric because humans look at the negative more than the positive.
For self-preservation reasons. Otherwise, we would all be dead.
I'm still trying to connect the dots here.
Now, it's important to ask, what do we do with all this information?
Why didn't you explain that before you made the video? That should have been your first. Hey guys, I'm going to connect the dots between this knowledge I have about the church and anime, and the problem with anime having churches in their shows. Not, hey, what do we do with all this stuff I just said? That makes no sense.
Use random words. Have fun.
My answer is pretty simple, honestly. Unfortunately, we live on the opposite side of the world from.
Are you joking me now? Are you saying because of location we can't make sense of Japan? There's nothing we can do. We can't teach our Japanese fellows about the church and this and that to help them not make bad churches and stories? Is that your distance?
I think it's a wonderful example as to why Christianity didn't really work in Japan. Because this autistic logical people looks at that and thinks like, are you kidding me? Why should I listen to you? You make no sense.
Okay.
Where are made. We can't exactly rally against this sort of mischaracterization at the hands of.
What are you talking about?
They're just focusing on the corruption in the church and that you are not cleaning up. This is the thing. Yes, okay. Things may be brought to light eventually, la-di-da. But that's not gonna happen by itself, by people just sitting around and waiting for it to happen. You have to make that happen. You have to draw it out, and that's an ugly and painful and not always without danger a process.
I'm not seeing a mischaracterization of anything. I'm seeing stories where a writer wants to create characters who are evil or egotistical or power hungry or whatever within an organization that may be religious or may have militant sects or may have government powers or whatever magic or mysticism in the setting. That's all I see. I don't see a problem with them. He didn't say it was a Catholic Church problem. He just said a church problem. So I'm like, okay, let's look at an anime whose depiction of a church, Western or Eastern or combination thereof, isn't good. Isn't good for the story, isn't good for the setting, isn't good for the characterization, isn't good for anything. I don't know. Tell me. Then we go, oh, I see. And then we go to another one. Oh, it's another evil church. Like, why is that bad? Maybe that it works with Berserk. It works with all kinds of stories. So what exactly is the problem? Like if you got away or got rid of the crazy evil in Helsing for the churches, the Protestant as well as the Catholic, I assume. I think those are the two. It wouldn't be, there would be no Alexander. There would be no guy to fight Alucard. It would just be Alucard versus the Nazis. And you're like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But it's still, the Protestant church having a vampire running around hunting demons and whatever. Is that bad? I don't think so. I think that's the core of the story, or the setting at least. So
Yeah, these stories are just there to have a conversation with the viewer, more than not, especially in regard to anime, or
to
just to
be-
entertain in general.
Yeah, or to just be this great, because Hellsing, even the next version of Hellsing is just even more over the top of animation and effects and sound and music. So it's supposed to be scintillating. It's supposed to go, wow, look at all this. Look at this crazy spectacle using religion and the Iscariot division and all these other cool terms that make you go, whoa, that sounds wild. What if that were the case? It's never to go, that's not Christianity. That's not Catholicism. Da 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 da. It's like, no one's offended. In fact, we love it. We love the fact that they actually put vampire Nazis on screen, riding a dirigible, slamming into London, on fire, and then everyone just blows. Like that's awesome. It's crazy. It's violent, but that's awesome. And I love the fact that all the guys in the Iscariot division always say amen at the end when they're fighting. This is they're really into it.
I honestly think I think he's just conflating the bad churches in anime that have no real connection to Christianity as an attack on Catholicism. And
that's weird.
He sounds young. He has to be young. He has to be in just out of high school, if anything. And
I think he's still in high school.
I don't know, but
He sounds like 16 to me.
It just seems like he's taking the churches in anime as an attack on Catholicism whenever it's not. Like, even Berserk doesn't really attack Christianity. It uses the structure of Christianity and inverses it as like, oh yeah, this world that we're in is controlled by Satan, literal Satan.
Yeah. They have the Overlord, or they have the Demon King, or whatever, and the church is against the evils of the world, which happens to be the Demon King, and we must summon heroes from another world, and we must help them, and da da da. You're like, okay, great. And there might be an evil churchgoer, there might be an evil priest here or there. Look at the Castlevania series on Netflix. Got some evil priests.
Yeah, don't.
Even though in the Castlevania series, the video games, all the priests are good, except Shaft, but that's like an evil cult. That has nothing to do with Christianity.
Yeah, well, that happened because they had to bring the subversion because it was made by a commie, and the commies always have to depict Christianity as bad because they exist to fight all virtual religions. That's why they also go against Buddhism and other such things.
Yeah.
They only protect one. They said they're against all religions, but for some reason they protect one.
Well, I just like the
has
fact
the
that
same symbol as their weird ideologies.
Yeah, all the weapons, most of the sub weapons, even in Symphony of the Night, they're all symbol, like the cross, the holy water. Was it called Saint Peter's Ashes? I think in Symphony of the Night, like all the sub weapons are religious. All the holy weapons you get defeat evil. There's all this RPG J.R.R. Tolkien stuff associated with it. So it's all this, like, everything about the church is good, or I guess Catholic churches are good, and the symbols they're in. There's nothing inherently bad, and that's fine. As I said before, there's good, there's bad, there's weird, and there's stupid in all these depictions, and that's just the story you're in, the setting you're in. So I'm still not seeing the problem. I'm still not seeing how this is a mischaracterization of anything.
Yeah. It's not, because they're not real and they don't actually relate to Christianity at all. Unfortunately, I do have to head out and I won't be able to watch the last minute of the video.
Thanks for your time, Cyrek.
No problem. I hope y'all have a good one.
All right.
That was fun.
Talk to you later.
Later.
All right, we got 1 minute left to go. Or he says a bunch of silly things that we're trying to not laugh at.
I hope it's just chilling.
I hope so. Let's see a product placement going.
We can certainly attempt to reach out privately and respectfully, but the odds
Hey, Japan, stop doing the thing I don't like. Okay.
that anything will change on this front are virtually zero. Instead, I think it would do us well to recognize that these depictions are being written by people who don't have an intimate awareness of what organized Christian.
Oh, shush. How do you
They
know?
They have a pretty good view of that.
How do you know they don't know exactly what they're doing?
They seem
Yeah,
to know.
because
They seem to know. They seem to know your religion and its mysticism
Oh, yeah.
and its core tenets way better than any of you.
Just look at the item list on Symphony of the Night. How much lore there is from every mythos in the world. Japan, Scandinavia, Rome, even Western concepts of Native Americans.
Yeah.
Mistletoe, like all these crazy, like they do research before they do anything, especially the mangakas. So if they're going to write a story about the church, like the Catholic Church, they're going to have fun with it.
Yeah, and they're gonna check it out, and they're gonna look at partake in a mess and something like that. They're gonna really analyze it. They really want to understand it to depict it correctly. Unlike Western studios who just make up their personal assumptional bullshit
Yeah.
about it, and then call everybody else prejudiced instead. The thing is, he is what he's doing is that he doesn't. What he actually wants is that he doesn't like that there is a negative depiction of the church at all. Because these negative depictions, they have a root in something that's real, that's true.
I'm going to be even more pessimistic, and I think he just wanted to make a video on a topic he likes, and he didn't know how to do it, so he just sort of cobbled together an argument that doesn't sound smart at all, but because it has video in the background and it's about a topic he likes, he was passionate, and therefore he made it. If this was an essay, the teacher would be like, "What the hell are you even trying to say? Like, what's your argument?"
Yeah, but it's not really a video. It's just a distracting background, loud music, and him babbling. I just call basically just an audio podcast.
Yeah.
If it was a real video, he would have at least cut the background in a way that is contextual.
Well, the argument that because Japan had a war between the Jews had a war between the Christians and the Protestants, or the Catholics and the Protestants, you're like, okay, that permeated all of Japan culture and somehow evolved into anime with Western influence of isekai and depicting organizations as religious to have corrupt characters. I'm like, that's not, like, what are you talking about? Oh God, have you ever written a story, sir, where you have a villain? How does the villain come about? That's pick any reason. And they're part of an organization. It was a good organization, but he came about and corrupted it. Ooh. Oy.
Like, really go off of what they find in their research or what they hear from people they know. It sucks for us, but an awareness of the situation.
No, it doesn't. Hellsing does not suck for us. It's awesome. We love Hellsing, and Hellsing Ultimate is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you
want if you have a church, don't you want it to be badass?
Cool with
there's demons. How do we fight the demons? By being badass.
By regenerating health and getting our arms lopped off and just regrowing them back. And then having vampires want to kill demons with us. Like, that's pretty cool. And they have guns that only vampires can use. Is so powerful. It's like, that's cool.
I mean, he puts his avatar in a crusader armor, so there's something to that. He wants to be awesome.
Maybe.
Where Christian anime fans is critical if we
Christian anime. Oh, didn't we cover one of those weirdos a year ago? And he was trying.
Wasn't that him?
Was this him? No, this was someone else.
I remember the avatar. I distinctly remember seeing his avatar on a Smudcast.
Really? It was definitely a very fundamentalist kind of attitude to anime. You're like, what are you off of? Why would you say that about anime?
Let's have more Christian rock and Christian books and everything Christian. So, like, oh god, it's gonna be so boring.
And notice he's saying Christian anime fan when he was depicting the Catholic anime fan, or at least previously talking about the Catholic Church. So I don't know if he's aware of the distinctions, or which one he believes in anymore. Or is he just saying in general because the Christian Church represents all of that? I don't know.
We are going to avoid being led astray by wrong ideas.
Are you serious? You think you think we watch Helsing and we go, oh, that's exactly what happens in the
led astray by wrong ideas. Don't listen to the wrong thing. Dude, are you a communist? Because you sound like a communist.
My religion is the true religion. Don't let anime change your mind, kids. Oh,
the church cannot do wrong.
What is he saying?
Oh god.
Why did he change it? Yeah, why did he even bring this line in? Why did you change the topic?
Remember, your faith in Jesus Christ is more important than what a non-Christian accuses your church of, and this goes double for the media that you consume. Being led astray by wrong ideas. Remember, your faith in Jesus Christ is more important than what a
I didn't know I had faith in Jesus.
Don't keep pausing that. I want to understand what he's saying.
He's assuming his audience believe in Jesus Christ, and
yeah, but what's the non-Christian thing that I want to?
It's all the anime. It's all the animes and the mangas that depict it as improper. You want to watch the okay?
Wherein, as Christian anime fans, is critical if we are going to avoid being led astray by wrong ideas. Remember, your faith in Jesus Christ is more important than what a non-Christian accuses your church of, and this goes double for the media that you
accuses a non-Christian. There are a lot of Christians who have a bloody problem with the shit the church has been done and is still doing in its with all the corruption that's going on. Like, dude. Okay. So I was at this exhibition at the local Catholic church about child abuse in the Catholic Church that they have in the Catholic Church, and the crazy things, and this is maybe because I have my own history with that. They have this. There was this one exhibition where they have this exhibit where you have like five examples written of a situation, and then they have 3 sets of pearls, red, yellow, and green, and you can throw into a big glass what you think, whether you think the situation is that's okay and normal, that you don't really know, it can be either or, depends on more context or whatever, and red is like, this is a no-go, this is abuse, report this. And the crazy thing is, because I'm basically, maybe I'm screwed because I'm through that kind of shit. The people who went to the Catholic Church, this was right after Mass. So it was all the people in the church that actually interact with this thing. The actual Christians. The Catholic Christians. They had way more red pearls thrown into that thing than I. I was leaning a lot more on the yellow. Because I felt like, well, what's the context? I need more context. But really, they're just very clear. And some of these were direct examples of things that happened in the church. So the people who have problems with what happened in the Catholic Church were the Catholics. Doesn't matter what a non-Christian says if your own people accuse you of that shit. What now? Are you gonna clean it up? Were there some errors in your history?
Well, I'm fascinated that he's talking to his audience as if it's himself, because this is what he believes, and I'm quite sure the people watching aren't all Catholic or believe in Jesus Christ or whatever.
Oh, and I want to hear his argument for why Charlemagne did nothing wrong.
Oh, jeez. We have 20 seconds, roughly.
This has been the 9th episode of Piercing.
That's it.
My commentary on media from a Catholic point of view.
Really?
Like the video, hype the video, subscribe, ring the bell, you know the drill. If you want to hang out with Catholics like me, even if you're not quite Catholic yourself,
If you want to hang out
Why
with
would You just said what a non-Christian says is worthless. You shouldn't be listened to. And then you ask, hey, if you're not a Catholic and you want to hang out, why would I want to hang out with you? You just said everything I say is worthless.
or the anime I like is bad. It has a problem with it. Like,
Yeah.
all those D&D players and all those RPG players, they're bad. They don't know the church like I do.
You're the reason to not be a Catholic.
So there's a Catholic diocese of Discord? Really? Okay.
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Why not?
check out the Catholic Diocese of Discord and tell them I sent you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a blessed...
Oh, so it's not your Discord? It's just some other Discord? You're just promoting?
I guess it's other Christians who don't give a shit about what non-Christians say.
I came from the anime guy. You guys like anime? It's like, no. Why are you here?
rest of your day.
Oh, okay. Jeez. What was that?
Change the video format. This is horrible.
The ultimate guide to anime with a cross, sure. When anime and Christianity meet, okay. I found the worst Christian channel on YouTube. And late night Pal World Heh. Oh, it's live. Wow, look at that. All right, that was painful.
Yeah, very
confusing. Do we have any stream memes? We gotta lighten this up. Someone make some jokes about Jesus or I don't care. Something. What do we got? Stream memes. Please tell us you got some stream memes.
11.
All right. Where are they? Why are they videos? All these videos, guys. Frog Jupiter, is this the right date? Am I missing something? Yeah, okay. December 2nd. There are 3 videos from Frog Jupiter. I will watch them later, but thank you, sir. Nietzsche wasn't against religion as evidenced by his support of Buddhism. Okay. And this one is 60 seconds. Focus only on the spiritual world, material. Again, 60 seconds. I'll watch them myself. Thank you very much. Okay. That's great that we have a bunch of very specific holy men hugging each other. Here's Gingaman. A good thing this video isn't video games have a church problem, or else me and the boys gotta bust out the beaked hoods and hidden blades. Oh. Yes. The greatest depiction of the church in video gaming. Assassin's Creed. With the Medicis. There's... Is that Castlevania 3? I think that's 3. No, that is 1? I'm trying to remember. I have the power of good in anime on my side. Oh my god. Never seen that one before.
Better days.
I support censorship.
Oh, there was a censorship guy.
Was that the same guy? Oh my god, it was. That video was horrible. That was like almost this year, I think. Yeah. Silent Surgic. Oh boy. Okay, the Fun Police. That sounds like a lot of time lapse. Frog Jupiter. Anyway, that's it. That was okay. Simple memes. Nothing fantastic. Ooh. Yeah, this is just hard to swallow. Yeah, he does sound like a kid. Doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't have enough references. Does not connect the dots whatsoever, and assumes we know what he's thinking, or at least is his own framework. So that when he speaks to you, he speaks of himself. Not a good way to argue at all. So no, I don't think anime is lying about churches or the church in their settings and stories because they can do whatever they like. It's their own stories, and the writers have full freedom to make them as good or evil or as neutral or as crazy, even as weird as Evangelion is. They're allowed to do that. So that's fine. I'm okay with it as long as you connect the dots and things make sense. Be as goofy as you want. Be as perverse as you want. Be as retarded. Be as violent. I do not care. Use all the symbolism you like.
Smut doesn't. The police might.
The censors would. The what do they call that? The movie authority or whatever. Whatever you're showcasing, whatever channel you're showcasing this on, they would be like, whoa, this is for adults. You can't do that. So, but they would have a NR-18 rating or something along those lines. So, if he was arguing a specific anime that had Catholicism wrong, great. I'd love to see that. That'd be great because then you get an expert or someone who knows it and say, well, this didn't happen in 1703 with whatever. Great. That'd be fantastic. And then you'd see a pattern over the years. Say this anime did it wrong too, and that anime did it wrong as well. Wow. That's what you got to do to make an argument. Show evidence that makes sense. It's clear, not, oh, there was some Protestants in Japan once, and they didn't like the Christians, or they didn't like the Catholics. Uh-oh. Therefore, anime makes evil churches because of Full Metal Alchemist. Okay. Sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the suggestion. That was good as a video. Obviously, we hated it, but good for our brains to relax in the evening. So thank you for the suggestion. Keep them coming. We'll talk to you soon. I know it's a busy month, but we'll try to do some more. I know we got some family coming over and friends. I've been busy too. So hopefully we'll get together this week, if not next. And definitely before Christmas. So we have some time. So thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Good night.
Good night.